before I would have Sione. But
QB6?
Yeah,
Sione?
Exactly. Cole Hagen's like, get in line, doc. Fun fact about Sione, he is from Victorville, California, moved to Provo for the last couple years of high school, got his mission called back to Victorville. He served where he's from.
I remember having a conversation with him about that on the cruise.
It's very interesting.
And that is a unique calling.
Hey,
no doubt about it.
What's that tag?
Guys?
What's that tag? Well, I'm a missionary
I
now.
know everybody.
I have a message for you.
Well, he's ready for anything, whether it's the missionary service back in his old hometown or maybe to be QB6. We're just excited because football is really close, so rise and shout. Let's get to what's trending.
We are in it. We have young, good talent.
Isaiah Glasgow, Jack Kelly, like just incredible players.
Is that better than last year?
We're a deeper team each year.
LJ Martin's going to help. Will Farron's going to help. It's everybody.
The quarterback battle is over. It's Bear Bachmeier's starting position. And that was the question for so long that we kind of forgot about the other questions that might exist.
There are other things to be answered.
In the BYU football conversation.
Not just a quarterback.
So now that it is Bear and the rest, Jarom, what's the biggest question remaining about BYU football that still needs to be answered?
I got a lot of questions still. We have to play half the season before we really get some answers. But what will the offense look like with said freshman quarterback Bear Bachmeier? That's my kind of top question. I have others, like we've been asking it. Will the defense be as good as last year? We think they can be. Can BYU be +8 in turnover margin again? Can they have 29 takeaways again? I don't really have too many starter questions. Siale Acera versus Che Bryant Struther is one of the kind of battles there. You'll hear from Siale coming up. Everyone else, I kind of understand who's starting, but I do have some depth pieces like who's tight end 3, because it looks like Carson Ryan, Kean Need are kind of your top 2 there.
Who's the 4th defensive tackle?
Who's the 4th defensive tackle is one as well. Keanu Tanavasa, John Tamoipeo, and Issa Purcell. Who's the 4th? Justin Kirkland. Well, he's injured right now. Once he's in there, you have your 2 deep. You're good. How much run will Ace Kafusi and Ephraim Asiata get, kind of as those other kind of edge backer types? Ace is at a really good camp. We've seen him make several plays there. There's not a ton of questions I have per se. Kick returner is a big one that will be answered coming up later from Kelly Papinga. He talks about the 2 guys that are in the mix at that position. But those are my main questions. I mean, offensively, when you have a true freshman quarterback, that should dominate. The rhetoric is, okay, now that we know who the guy is, what will that look like?
At the top of my list, after the quarterback question, now that has been settled, is the following. Can BYU actually produce a 1,000-yard rusher for the first time since 2021? And there's layers to that. Meaning, is the offensive line really on par with what last year's offensive line was, or better? Is LJ Martin truly ready for the breakout season? Can BYU do it? And by do it, I mean have a 1,000-yard rusher as a Power 4 status member. Can they do that? 2021, I know they played 7 Power 5 teams at the time, but it's not 10 like BYU will face this year. Is it all going to come together? Can Bear Bachmeier be able to rely on the run game and his offensive line so that BYU does have that type of production? I feel like they have to do this, Jarom. If BYU is going to win 8+ games, I don't see another way that BYU can get to 8+ wins if they don't have that type of run production to take the pressure off of a true freshman starting quarterback's shoulders.
Specifically a 1,000-yard rusher?
Yes.
What if Sione and LJ both have 750 plus?
I just think you need a horse. I really do. Somebody that Bear can turn around and go, you're my guy. Like,
you want a shadow fax.
Yes. It's 3rd and 4.
Show them the meaning of haste, LJ.
Or it's 3rd and 3. Like, I want to know that we're going to stay on the field. I'm going to hand the ball off to you. You're going to get those tough yards, and we're going to keep going.
And then Aaron says, it's 4th and 1. That's what we were set up for. Let's go. Because they think about both downs, right?
I know that the combo is still in play with LJ and Sione, but I feel like BYU just needs to have a horse at the front.
I think it's clearly LJ, right? Like, that's not in question.
No.
You just want to see the yards.
Yes.
You want to see the 4th digit.
I want to know that the offensive line is good, like that they can do this. Teams are going to know. Because BYU has a true freshman, that BYU may be, especially early in the season, relying heavily on that part of the game. And they still go out and do it.
And Hank, Man, I keep calling him Hank. Bear is going to be heavily involved in that. Aaron told us that this week. Aaron Roderick said he is a very good rusher. We're going to use him in the run game. Now, it is risky because you run your guy, he gets hit, whatever. But he's too good at it. You're not going to just keep him in the pocket.
It needs to be part of his game.
Absolutely. Now, something that Bear is going to need to do that Jake did really well, and I talked to one offensive lineman this week who told me, hey, you know what Jake was really, really good at? His pocket awareness. He would step up in the pocket, he would shift, he would move, he would get the throw off in certain lanes. That takes some time to sort of become acquainted with that. And, Bear was on that yellow bus last year. Enrolled early at Stanford. He's done everything to prepare himself for this moment that he could. Who was it, Joe Wheat yesterday said, how in-depth is Kalani Sitake's scouting? He put BYU starting quarterback against not the first opponent, but the second opponent. Then they transferred in just to have an advantage there. That's crazy preparation. I'm excited to watch Bear's development in that space. And you're right. There's nothing more demoralizing in football than a dominant run game. Because if it's 3rd and short, which would be 3rd and 3 or shorter, and just knowing the defense going, we're probably not stopping this. Hopefully we do. And BYU just, bam, down your throat, first down.
I love that concept and that idea.
And LJ is very good in that space. Like we've talked about, he hopefully will get back to kind of home run hitter status, but he is just lacing singles and doubles for BYU, if you will, in the run game. I think he's really good at finding a hole, getting the yards, moving the chains.
Can he stay healthy enough?
That's the key to 1,000.
To be the guy that carries the ball 20 times a game.
Spence, if he plays 12 games, I don't see any way he's not a 1,000-yard rusher.
It has to happen. It
will
just has to happen for BYU to have
Yeah.
sustained success on offense and to win 8+. They've got to have their horse at running back to help Bear.
Let's do your weird math thing. So 12 games, 1,000 yards. How many yards per game does he need?
Okay, so that would be...
If you've missed it, Spencer is like oddly really good at these obscure math stuff.
Okay, so...
I've got the number.
It's between 82 and 83, isn't it?
Good gosh. 83.3.
Yeah.
You're the man. You're the man.
83.3 yards.
83.3.
Okay. He can
Technically,
do
it was
that.
above 83.
BYU can, yes. BYU can do this.
Yeah.
To average 83.3 or more yards per game.
I'm actually more concerned about like LJ, Sione, Bear. What does that trio look like in the run game? Sure, I would like 1,000. But if you told me that LJ has 900, Sione has 600, and Bear has 500 non-sack yards, let's go.
And I know some BYU fans are saying, well, BYU didn't have anything close to a 1,000-yard rusher last year, and they played 5 running backs, and it still worked out to 11-2. They didn't have a true freshman starting quarterback. I just feel like you have to rely more on the run game.
There's a lean to the
early in the season, especially.
That's a great point. Okay, where do you believe BYU football will be better this year than they were last year? Because last year was awesome in a lot of ways.
Okay, number one, I think BYU, there's no way that they don't have a better 3rd down conversion percentage. It was so bad last year. And I know the 4th down was really good. One of the best in the country.
3rd down was 37.3%, which was 97th.
Hand it off to LJ on 3rd and short, or Bear gets some tough yards. They're going to be better converting 3rd downs. They're going to be in more 3rd and short situations.
Well, increase your success rate. So what you're doing on 1st and 2nd down to prepare you for 3rd down.
Yes.
They were 52nd in success rate.
And that's okay. BYU can be better. I believe they will be better there, which leads to better 3rd down conversion percentage. I don't want BYU to have to rely so much on the 4th down play.
Although BYU was
one of the best in the country.
47%, 33rd in 4th downs.
Yes. So I know it's nuanced. I just want that. I don't want them to have to rely on 4th down.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here we go again. We're on the 47-yard line, 4th and 1.5.
No man's land. Yeah.
Okay.
When you have a good defense, though, you're not.
That helps.
You're not a skirt. Like that
helps.
That affects Aaron Roderick's play calling.
Okay. Secondly, I don't see any way that BYU doesn't have better production in the receiving category from the tight ends. It was so dismal last year.
To me, it's pretty easy to top that.
Yes.
Because it's not. I mean, Matava Tase was catching touchdown passes. And that was kind of it.
How many catches combined did the tight ends have last year? 31. All of the tight ends combined. 31 catches. 290 yards total?
31 catches. That was 4 games for Gordon Hudson. That was 4 games for Dennis Pitta.
290 total yards receiving for the entire season.
We're hoping Carson Ryan hits that in Game 5. I hope he hits. Here's what I'm hoping for Carson. I'm hoping he's a kind of 30 catches, 400 to 500 yards guy, 4 or 5 touchdowns. That's the number.
I love it.
Those are the numbers just for him, not for the group. Just for him.
22 yards per game on average. It's one catch for Dennis Pitta or Gordon Hudson or Johnny Harleen.
I love your live math, dude. This is so good. The tight ends. Kean Need comes over from New Mexico State. And then it's kind of TBD. You got a bunch of dudes. Noah Moyaki could be your number 3. You know, Ethan Erickson when he gets healthy, maybe he's not the number 3. You got some guys that have been around in that room and now a little younger. You brought in 2 transfers. They're going to step in right away. So I like that. Any others?
No, I'll add this. 4 touchdowns from the group isn't great either. It didn't really hurt BYU last year. I mean, the tight end, as we discussed, was effective at times in the red zone, Matavatase specifically. But I would like to see that number at least doubled. Like all of those numbers at least doubled. 62 catches. How about 44 yards per game from the tight ends? And 8 touchdowns. Like,
Are there too many good receivers for that to realistically happen?
I don't think so.
Like, shouldn't Chase Roberts get
more?
More? Who is it? Wong in Endgame? You wanted more? Yes, we want more for Chase Roberts.
We want more for Chase.
Ant-Man burst through.
But it was so it was so bad for the tight end group specific. I don't see any way that's not better.
And who's that coming down the tracks? There's a certain legit tight end in St. George that's going to change all of those numbers in a couple years after admission.
Yes.
I can't wait for that guy. Can't say his name yet.
Unnamed heroes.
Unnamed amazing guy who in the first quarter of his first high school game, by the way, absolutely destroyed the competition.
I love it. Okay, where are they going to be better, Jarom?
Stop the run. They're going to stop the run better. And his name is Keanu Tanuvasa. Yeah. They were 87th in defensive success rate. Yards per carry, they were 44th. Sacks and TFLs, of course. You want more. It's not everything. You'll hear from Kelly Papinga, his opinion on sacks, kind of that number coming up later.
I'm glad you brought that up.
That's 1. 2, 21 giveaways. Get that down just a little bit. That was a little high. Get that to 16.
Fewer
15,
interceptions.
And then completion percentage. 57% as a team. No, they can go low to mid-60s. Why not? Make good throws. Be explosive. Take risks, but calculated risks, right? 57%. Come on.
Can BYU stop the run better? That was an honorable mention for me. Can they stop the run
Keanu
this year?
will change that by himself, dude. He is that good.
You want to know what he is capable of? And I think David Nixon and I were talking about this maybe last week. You go back and you watch him play for Utah against BYU.
Bro, I was like happily annoyed at how awesome he was.
Keanu, stop. Get out of the backfield, man.
They twisted him into the edge where he's batting down balls. He's in the backfield. Like
BYU couldn't do anything for the longest time.
He could have told you if LJ Martin had bad breath or not. Like, he was familiar. He was back there. It was annoying how good he was, but happily annoying because now he's wearing blue.
Yes. Yes. Our question of the day, where do you believe BYU football will be better this year than they were last season?
We didn't say takeaways because 29 was a lot. I'm hoping for 25 plus. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you want the way too hot take?
They're going to have 30!
More!
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
They're going to try, though. They're going to try.
Chris Manning on X says, gotta be the pass rush on defense.
Okay.
There is too much talent in the room not to see better sack numbers.
Okay, so Logan Latui, Bodie Schoonover, Biliami Puha, Orion Maile Kafusi, Hunter Clegg, Tausili Akana. These are kind of some of your top ends that could be in the mix, specifically trying to get them.
And you watch those linebackers, specifically Jack Kelly and Isaiah Glasser, get pushed up to the front and be rushing off the edge.
Or Jack spying the quarterback.
Yes, don't be surprised to see their sack numbers, or at least their chaos numbers, inflated this season.
Because if they get a pick off a play where they didn't get a sack, I'm okay with that. That's better.
It's better than a sack.
It's better.
We don't have to wait that much longer.
Nope.
That's maybe the best news of the day. In fact, how many days?
Countdown to the Vikings.
9 days away. Single digits.
9 days away.
Jim McMansworth, let's go. ESPN's Heather Dennis reported yesterday that the College Football Playoff Selection Committee will be using more enhanced metrics in the selection process this season, namely a new metric called record strength. They literally called one strength of record last year. Okay. What do you make of this?
One, how the heck is record strength different than strength of record?
We're getting a little participle preposition-y up in here.
It's a new stat, or do we just change a word?
In,
the
through,
phrasing?
of, by, around?
Jarom, I am slightly encouraged because it feels like they're making an effort to look at something that will better delineate which teams are actually better than others and help them rank them more fairly. But I feel like we could do better than this. We could do better than record strength. Like what? I just want to know what goes into it. Like what are the specifics? I know they lay it out.
Yeah.
Give me more. I need more.
You want like the mathematical, what's the equation or whatever?
Yes.
Okay, not knowing that.
Explain the equation. I only want to read it once, but at least I want to understand it really well at least once.
I didn't read it once at BYU in my class, so I'm not reading it now. Record strength, extra credit for beating quality teams, less penalty for losses versus tough opponents, less credit for beating lesser teams.
But what is a good team?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
What
is a
metrics?
good team?
By what metric?
What's a good loss?
This does scream SEC Big Ten, like, let's figure out how we get SMU out and Ole Miss or South Carolina or Alabama in last year. That's what that feels like.
Yeah, tell me what a good team is.
That's not good for non-Big Ten SEC teams. Because let's say this year BYU's in the mix and Stanford isn't that good, which is expected.
Yep.
They're expected to be kind of bad, actually. Then what? Last year BYU had the SMU win and they still didn't get into the playoff. Boo. So, yeah, I mean, I would love more of a men's basketball type situation where we know the metrics that are on the team sheet. And
Give me a net ranking for
understand.
football. Give me a net ranking.
Granted, I don't know what goes into Sagarin. I just know what the Sag rating is. So I'm not sure I need like the explanation. Just give me a few metrics that are a little different that you approve.
Even if you combined like the top 5, what you view most effective metrics into like a power rank, fine. And then that's the one that's like the net sorting tool, fine.
I'm okay having them spread out so I can sort of be like, well, they're not good at this, but they're good at this.
I need more. Like it's so vague. Like, well, you'll be rewarded for a good win, and you won't be as penalized for a loss against a good team. What is a good win and what is a good loss?
Last year it was
qualifies?
like Alabama. Why'd you lose to Vanderbilt?
A bad loss at the end of it.
Yeah.
It was not. I know Vanderbilt
Ole
was
Miss,
bad.
Was it Kentucky? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there were issues there. For BYU, frankly, it was don't lose to Kansas.
Yes. Yeah.
If BYU doesn't lose to Kansas,
they're in.
They might be in at-large even if they lose the Big 12.
They're in the Big 12 championship game.
And then they still might be in at-large.
I need more. I need more explanation as to
You wanted more?
the math that goes into determining what an actual good team is for the committee.
I thought it was just the eye test, Spence. Join us tomorrow for BYU Sports Nation's 2025 BYU football season preview show featuring roster